I'm your host, Asa Kane. This exemplifies most people's mentality in today's world. Get as much as you can get and screw everybody else, regardless to how much they contributed to your success, how much they've helped you. They might have even saved your life. No, we all want to go out. We want to act brand new. We want to look at the most expensive diamonds and pearls for the ladies. We want to do all of that. We want to look at the gold. We want to buy gold necklaces, and bracelets, and watches, and rings, and diamonds. And don't forget about the Rolex. Gotta get the Rolex. Gotta get the first one. Even more than that, you gotta get all that so then you can get the model chick, the trophy chick. You want to be an influencer. You want everyone to follow you and to love you and all this. They don't even know you, but still, that's what you want. Ultimately, though, you want that girl. You want that unconditional love. You want her to love you for you. That chick that's at least an 8 or better. You want to become the center of her world. And again, you want her love unconditionally. Gentlemen, what you need to know, first of all, is love with women is not unconditional. At the same time, everybody's not cheering for you. You got people that are out working full time, even more than you are, to try to take what you've got. They're working 15, 16 hours a day. They're thieves. And they're unabashed. And all they care about is what they want too. So many times you're on a collision course. And in the real world, you want to be flashy in the wrong places when you're around people that don't have much of anything and act like it's nothing. You want to be Hollywood, Hollyweird. Doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, young or old, white, Asian, Latino, African American. Someone wants what you have and you're vulnerable. That's what you're going to see. Now, we're going to be reviewing this episode off Kira TV. It just came out 7 days ago, as you see it. It's already got over 300,000 views. And the reason why I'm reviewing this is because it applies a lot to our world and our industry and our business. Now, before we get into that, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification, share this.
It's common sense to avoid walking in a bad neighborhood while flaunting expensive jewelry, leaving valuables on your car seat, or pulling out a bunch of cash in public. These are just simple things we all do to lessen the risk of being robbed. But in 2024, people have decided to ignore this common sense and instead open themselves up to a much wider audience of opportunists. I'm of course talking about social media. There are many factors that play into this, but the biggest one is flexing wealth. If you were wealthy in the years before social media, there was an inherent protection of crimes requiring a spur-of-the-moment decision, or someone who had an incredible level of access to your life. With social media though, people seem not only happy, but willing to present themselves as that target and give that access to the world entirely for free, just to flex.
Entirely for free.
If you ever want to achieve
you in no way, shape, or form,
then
why
you need
do
to
it?
stop exchanging time for money and instead invest into assets that generate a passive income irrespective of the world marketplace.
In the first example, let's look at Kieran Hamilton, a Manchester-based and self-titled finance guru.
That's not a good start.
Kieran posts a typical lifestyle of the finance influencer online, complete with millions of dollars in luxury goods like clothing, watches, cars, and property, but also a lifestyle of travel and general opulence. Embedded in these posts are the links to explain this lifestyle and how Kieran lives it. He claims he can teach you how to become as wealthy as he is using the typical methods: forex trading, YouTube automation, collectibles trading, property investment, and more. Now, whether he can do this or if he's earned money from it is not the point of this video. He's among thousands of finfluencer accounts on social media that make the same promises, and usually they make their wealth from selling this fake luxury lifestyle to gullible people as opposed to making money doing the things that they claim.
Very true.
Because realistically, if you were this finance guru who could turn hundreds into thousands into millions, you wouldn't need to tell anybody else, you just do it, and then if you really wanted help, just give to charities. Charging people money to tell them how to make money is a little bit contradictory if you say that's why you do it in the first place. Either way, however he got the money or whether he has as much as he claims, posting about it all on social media is a double-edged sword, or should I say, a double-edged machete in Kieran's case. He woke up one night to the sound of smashing downstairs, thinking it was his French bulldogs fighting as usual. Then he heard footsteps on the staircase of his new home. Within minutes, Kieran was face to face with two machete-wielding intruders. They told him exactly what they wanted, and those were the things he was bragging about on social media, such as watches, cash, laptops, and more. After a few punches and a bit of stabbing, they took what they could and left the house. Unfortunately, what they could get at the time was one of his dogs, but at least there's a happy ending to this story. He did get the dog back about a year later.
Got him back.
Now obviously Kieran was targeted solely because of his social media posts. Posts he made specifically for attention, and attention is exactly what he got, though not in the way he would have liked in this case. Since then, he posts on social media less, but when it's part of your business model to sell the product of promised wealth to your audience, it's probably kind of hard to avoid. And now let's look. Obviously in 2024 and a few years past, cryptocurrency exists, and people can be walking around with millions of dollars in their pocket.
Very true.
A simple face scan, a fingerprint on the mobile phone, and there could be sat generational wealth. That wealth can be transferred within seconds, anywhere on the globe, with zero scrutiny and almost no way to see it returned. So obviously this adds an additional level of risk to flaunting wealth online, especially in the world of cryptocurrency. If you have a Twitter account where you post about the millions you make and then people notice you in public, it's not just a watch that they're going to be snatching off your wrist. If they can get access to your phone, they could literally empty what amounts to your life savings within minutes. One simple example of this are reports of business executives being lured to fake meetings. They believe they're there for a nice meal, maybe a bottle of expensive wine and conversations about potential partnerships, but in reality, they're taken to a dark room, forced to open their phone, and send millions of dollars in assets, and if they're lucky, released without harm. This is an example shows the difference between professionals and amateurs. An amateur might come into your house with a machete looking for a few watches or a few $1,000s in loose cash because they see you post on Instagram. A professional, they're going straight for the cryptocurrency accounts in your mobile phone. This has happened countless times and really illustrates the dangers of being a public figure with a high net worth in 2024, especially in that world of cryptocurrency. So what about when we combine three things? What about when we have cryptocurrency, an influencer flaunting his wealth online, and a personal vendetta? I'm sure that's a winning combination that will turn out just fine in the end, right? In the case of Aiden Pleterski, it all happened as you would expect. The 22-year-old Aiden decided to share his years of wisdom and genius-level investing talent with the world.
22 years old.
This guy managed to convince hundreds of middle-class and up adults to part way with anywhere from tens of thousands to millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars.
Aiden assured them all the money would grow quickly because he was, as his social media would show, the self-proclaimed crypto king.
They gave him
with
their
this
money
pitch,
to make
Aiden
decisions.
managed to raise in the ballpark of $40 million.
40 fucking
all on the
million.
premise that he could simply make money multiply and had experience doing so.
40.
Which again raises the question, why would he need other people's money if he could do this when he'd just be a billionaire in the first place?
Why didn't they just
Obviously
learn
that's a
about
common
it
sense reason to
themselves,
explain it.
how we teach you
Unfortunately,
on
when
our
it comes to
channel.
greed, people often miss the obvious and see the fanciful because that's what they want. So Aiden was allegedly pooling the investor funds into his business account on a Belize-based cryptocurrency exchange and using that fund to make high profitable trades. But according to reports, no accounts in the name of Aiden or his business were registered to that exchange.
He didn't even have a business account
Instead,
registered.
he was allegedly using the investor funds to live out a high-flying life of a multimillionaire while refusing requests to return money to those who handed it over.
Refusing requests
Aiden was
for
paying
people he stole from.
$40,000 a month to live in mansions, buying Lamborghinis, flying in private jets, and wearing watches valued at close to $1 million, all the while posting this lifestyle on social media. Unfortunately for Aiden, when you spend money that isn't yours and generate no returns, you build up a deficit that is often referred to as a Ponzi scheme.
You should all be taking notes.
So eventually he was forced to declare bankruptcy, informing the many investors that their money was not only no longer growing, but no longer existed.
None of them got
Why
a
it no longer existed was mostly
$1
down to bankruptcy records showing that nearly $16 million of the 40 was spent by Aiden while he flew around the world on private jets and lived like a true king. Meanwhile, allegedly making zero attempt to trade a single dollar of the $40 million he raised from the investors. So lawsuits were filed and investigations were launched, but obviously some people decided to take it upon themselves to try and retrieve the funds that they considered stolen. After all, if it was in cryptocurrency, they could probably just take it out of his hands. At first they made threats, and second, a group of men abducted Aiden. They beat him severely and then forced him to record an apology video.
I'm sorry. I really am. I didn't want to or mean to ruin anybody's life.
I don't believe
which was later edited and sent to news outlets. This video would of course not be admissible as any form of evidence in any case of the missing $40 million, and Aiden was clearly, visibly under duress, making his statements impossible to take as truth. But obviously the people who abducted him felt that this was important. They were after all risking years in prison to beat a confession out of Aiden, as well as hoping to recover some of the missing funds during said beating. So fast forward to the future. As of now, the money hasn't been recovered.
None of the
Aiden's
money's
still
been
posting on
recovered.
social media, claiming now to be a quote part-time pimp, streaming to kick.com and advertising for people to quote make money with him.
You can't make this shit.
Clearly, being abducted and beaten didn't teach him the full lesson, but his recent posts are flaunting much less wealth. So
I don't believe
maybe
he's
part
learned
of
a
a
fucking lesson at all, to be honest with you. I don't wish death on him, but for him to still be free, not in prison, and to still have all of other people's money that he's living off of, it's fucking insane to me. Now, I can't help any of you recover any of the money that was stolen by Aiden P, but what I can do is strongly suggest that all of you get your own crypto cold storage wallet, because 90% of you still don't have one, which blows my mind. Now, Ledger is one of the leading worldwide manufacturers of crypto cold storage wallets. They're based in Paris, France, but they are worldwide. Most of you to this day leave your crypto on the exchange that you bought it on, and you just leave it there until you sell it or whatever you're going to do with it. You don't do that. You put it on your wallet. That way you're the only one to have access to it. No one else has access to it but you. It is the only way. Ledger Live is the app that lets you look and see what your coins values are in real time, and also you can exchange them as well. And as you can see here, they have several different models. Now, as far as this Aiden thing, I'll be honest with you. It angers me knowing that someone like myself has been providing value and knowledge to all of you for almost 3 years, yet less than 1% of you contribute to the growth of the channel or reciprocate any of the value that we've been giving you all this time. But yet you'll invest, I should say, 40 million to a piece of shit like this guy. You know, it just fucking amazes me. You know, people are either stupid or selfish or both. Now, if this video has been of value to you, contribute in the way that matters most. You can do so with any USDT or USDC stable coins, okay? And also go through our extensive library, learn about crypto, and then decide which assets are best for you. That's how you do this. Okay, this is not 1989. All right. And also make sure that you use our link to BitFi, and make sure that you sign up for your own account. And until next time, get in there and make it happen. This is Crypto Kernels. I'm your host, Asa Kane. It's been only 4 nights since I shared with you the story of self-proclaimed crypto king Aiden Pleterski. As of today, Thursday, May the 16th, he has just been arrested. Okay, we're looking at Aiden right here.
Much has happened in less than a week, okay? And if you want to watch that video, you can see everything that he is alleged of doing right there. It was just released. You should never talk about money online. The episode review. Go watch it. Over 300 of you have watched it already, okay? This is an update to this story because, like I said, a lot has happened and we found out even more than that in the last several days, okay? So you're going to want to sit back and pay attention and listen to all of this because you're going to be shocked. Now, before we do that, make sure that you hit the like button, subscribe, and also click the bell notification.
Ontario's self-proclaimed crypto king has been arrested and charged with fraud. 25-year-old Aiden Pleterski is accused of bilking investors out of more than $40 million. Nicole Brockbank has been tracking the story since allegations of fraud against him started surfacing nearly 2 years ago. She joins us now with more details. And Nicole, what is the latest?
Yes, so Kelda, Durham police have charged so-called crypto king Aiden Pleterski with fraud over $5,000 and laundering the proceeds of crime. Pleterski was released on a $100,000 bail yesterday, posted by his parents. His bail conditions include surrendering his passport and not posting on social media about financial matters like investments. One of his associates, Colin Murphy, who I've also reported on, was also charged with fraud.
This has been a long time coming. Take us back. How did we get here?
Well, Kelda, I first reported on Pleterski almost 2 years ago after some of his investors forced him into bankruptcy. The investors were trying to track down more than $40 million they'd provided Pleterski to invest in cryptocurrency with the promise of high returns. So far, the bankruptcy process has recovered about $3 million for roughly 160 investors. That investigation also found Pleterski only invested about 2% of investor funds, and that he spent nearly $16 million on himself, renting private jets, buying luxury cars, and leasing a lakefront mansion.
This is your idol.
There have been several other key developments over the last 2 years in connection to Pleterski, including a kidnapping.
Yes, Pleterski was allegedly kidnapped in December 2022. Last year, one of his investors and 4 other men were charged with the alleged kidnapping. We were also sent a video taken of Pleterski visibly beaten during the kidnapping. And on top of that, the lakefront mansion that Pleterski used to live in was at the center of a lawsuit involving a Canadian NBA star. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander successfully sued to get out of his $8.4 million purchase of the home, arguing he wasn't told about threatening visits to the property by those looking for Pleterski before he bought it. And then last fall, I reported on Pleterski jet setting to the UK, Miami, and Australia despite his ongoing bankruptcy. At that time, Pleterski was presenting himself as a professional streamer online.
Now, as you mentioned, Pleterski was let out on bail. What do we know about what he's been up to?
Well, as I said, Kelda, he's been very active on social media throughout his bankruptcy, and it doesn't seem like the charges have changed that. Pleterski has posted a few TikTok videos of himself since he was released on bail yesterday.
And we know, Nicole, a press conference will be held tomorrow in Whitby. What do you expect to hear from investigators?
Durham Police and the Ontario Securities Commission worked together on what they say was a 16-month investigation into Pleterski, dubbed Project Swan. Tomorrow, I hope to hear more about what went into that investigation, like how many investors Pleterski allegedly ripped off and how much of their money police allege he defrauded.
All right, thanks so much, Nicole. Our Nicole Brockbank reporting.
We'll be updating you as well. Talk about things developing at the speed of light. I did not see that coming. Now, I cannot give those people back their money that gave it to him to invest because they didn't want to learn themselves. But what I can do for you is tell you all, because most of you do not have your own wallet, to get your own wallet. Ledger is one of the leading worldwide manufacturers of crypto cold storage wallets. Do not leave your crypto on any exchange for a year or 2 years. That's retarded. Don't do that. You get one of these, you put your money on there, and that way you are the only one to have access. They even have an app now where you can trade and stake your crypto from within the app. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. They've got several models to choose from. Now they're located in Paris, France, but they ship worldwide. Use our link in the description. Now, if this video has been of value to you and our channel as a whole, and teaching you about crypto and sharing projects and platforms with you that you didn't even know about, contribute back into the channel to ensure our growth and our continuing value to you and to every last one of you, because we cannot do it alone. We've got, as you can see here, over 150 different videos in our extensive library, and they are about over 100 different projects and tokens and NFTs in here. Look at this. I'm only showing you a fraction of them, but they're all there. This is 3 years worth of my blood, sweat, and tears, my insight, my experience, my knowledge, my wins, many more wins than losses, but also some losses as well, because no one wins all the time. But if you can win more than you lose, you're a winner. Okay. Stay tuned. I've got a lot more coming very soon. Working on the Patreon now. Until next time, get in there and make it happen.